Welcome to Rockville.
Guys, what you're looking at here is one of the most iconic and collectible two-stroke motorcycles ever built. The 1975 Kawasaki H2C 750 Mach IV, known by many as the Widowmaker. This bike is the final year of the legendary H2 Triple Series and one of just under 8,000 units ever produced in 1975. But what makes this example truly exceptional is its original factory, fresh, original candy purple finish. A color so bold and rare, it earned the nickname the Purple People Eater among collectors. Only two factory colors were offered in 1975, Candy Super Red and this stunning Candy Purple. It's estimated that just 30% of the total 1975 production came in Candy Purple, meaning there are only about 2,300 bikes worldwide in this color made 50 years ago. This one is an ultra rare survivor, the only one we've ever seen. Original paint, original owner, 6,000 miles. It's like a brand new motorcycle. This machine is 100% original from front to back. That's the original factory paint, original matching numbers, engine and frame, unmolested chassis, and just over 6,000 original miles. We just gave it a full service, tune, and detailing, so it's ready to fire up and rip like the wild two-stroke beast it was built to be. 100% original, guys. Guys, of the 10,000 plus motorcycles classics we've had through the New England Motorcycle Museum, this is one of 3 H2s. One of them was a fully kitted cafe racer, and the other one was a custom paint and pipes. This is the only original one we've ever had, and the only original 75 we've ever seen here. Super, super ultra rare. We went through the detail shop, but we paid special attention to not paint anything on this bike. There has not been a paintbrush to touch this frame, the swing arm, the frame. That's all the original paint. We bought it from the original owner who owned it brand new. He had OCD, meticulously maintained this machine. There has not been a paintbrush anywhere on the fuel tank or the side covers. It's all original. We did have the pipes. New England Chrome Plating is right down the street from us, so we sent out the pipes. They were the nicest original set we'd ever seen, but they had some patina on them. So we wanted, it's a no-brainer to send them down to the boys at New England Chrome Plating and have them plate them. Probably the nicest original set of pipes in the country. The cases are perfect, bike's perfectly straight. It even has all of the yellow. We made perfect attention to we actually taped these off when we washed it so that the yellow original factory hash marks are everywhere they were when this bike came out of the factory. Original tires, and obviously the original owner didn't beat on it because the original tire has 60%, 70% tread left. It just broke 6,000 miles, 6,007 original miles. Original front tire, those are the original chain and sprockets on the bike. I'll go over the work order after I ride it. I'm obviously excited. I'll probably never get a chance to ride an H2 this nice and original again, and neither will you. This is a very, very rare, limited opportunity. It will be gone fast. And as far as the investment, $2,750 is what he paid for it brand new 50 years ago. 50 years ago, okay? One just sold at Mecum for $55,000 this year, and we've got a list of 10 of them that sold for over $40,000. So from Mecum and Bring a Trailer, they're insanely, and of those that sold for the big money, none of them were originals. And as the curator for the New England Motorcycle Museum, the highest and best, in my opinion, is an original bike because it's so rare to see any vehicle 50 years old and this clean. And this is the original paint everywhere on this bike. Let's give her a rip. I've done over 11,000 videos, and it's rare that I'm this excited and actually a little nervous to ride this bike, and I'll probably never get another chance to ride one this nice. It's an iconic piece of motorcycle history. Guys, pardon the interruption, but August 29th, that's it, man. We're running out of time. It's right around the corner. We're going to be pulling the ticket to this 2025 Gas 450 Factory Edition that we loaned to Justin Barsha and wrote it at Southwick. It's got 3 hours on the time meter from what he wrote it, and I wrote it. It's signed by Justin Barsha. It includes a set of his riding gear, and there's 10 bucks at kaplancycles.com. Go get your ticket. Someone's going to win. Might as well be you. The H2 was infamous in the early 70s. Lightweight, insanely fast, and often more motorcycle than mere mortals could handle. But by 1975, Kawasaki refined the chassis with a longer swing arm, better frame geometry, upgraded forks, and a steering damper, taming the ride just enough to keep the thrill without the terror. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a time capsule from the golden era of performance. It's a two-stroke triple with 74 horsepower, a top speed over 120 miles per hour, and a sound that brings chills to anyone who's ever twisted a throttle. Not only is this bike cosmetically 100% mint and original, mechanically and electrically, this bike's a 10. Every light, every switch, every gauge, everything on the bike works. The turn signals, horn, high beam, low beam, and I've got to show you inside of the fuel tank, because this isn't not only the nicest original H2 I've ever seen, this is the nicest tank interior I've ever seen in a 1975. The guy who owned it was obsessed. We kept the tank and the motorcycle stored indoor in his house and would fog it with WD-40. There was never any rust in this fuel tank. We did not have to clean it. It's absolutely spectacular condition on the inside of the tank. If you're a collector, a Kawasaki enthusiast, or someone who understands what it means to own the last and rarest of a bloodline, this 75 H2C in factory candy purple is the crown jewel. With original paint, low mileage, one owner, documented, with the full service records, and only a couple thousand of these ever made in this color. This one checks all the boxes. It also comes with the original owner's manual, the original extended warranty application, and the actual letter here you see from Kawasaki thanking him for purchasing the motorcycle. Guys, these are the original Dunlop gold seal tires that it came from the factory with. 100% original with the correct date codes on it, front and rear. And if you'll note, the rear tire still has 75% of the tread left with 6,000 miles, indicating the previous owner had was pretty easy on the throttle. The original saddle, all original chrome, except for the exhaust pipes. We're right near New England chrome plating. They're one town over. They're the best in the industry. And this was the nicest original set of pipes we'd ever seen. Had a little bit of patina on them, so we wanted to take it to the next level. So as part of the process of doing what we call a preservation service on the bike, the pipes were chromed. I want to point out, we did not put a paintbrush anywhere on this frame. We could easily, if you buy the bike and you want the frame professionally, we do the same guys that worked on this bike work on the $300,000 1920s four-cylinder bikes that we have in the museum, the Excelsior Henderson and all the other classics we have in there. So this was handled by the best, not only the best in cosmetic restoration, but also mechanical work that was done. I'll go over that too. And it was just a preservation service. I specified, do not touch this bike with a paintbrush anywhere on the swing arm, the frame. The center stand is original paint. And before we washed it, we carefully taped off all of the yellow hash marks that come from the factory. This was almost always taken off by an owner, but it has original hash marks. You see right there? The camera picked that one up there. It has that right there. And everywhere you look on the bike where it came from the factory with an original mark denoting that it was torqued down is still present and accounted for on this motorcycle. This bike is 50 years old, 50. To find any motor vehicle with a fuel tank and original paint this nice is basically unheard of, let alone an H2, because they called them the Widowmaker for a reason. They were a handful. A lot of people would crash these bikes. The only place the paint has been touched up anywhere on this motorcycle is underneath the seat right here in this one spot right there. That's it. And that was done with the original candy purple paint. None of the aluminum on the wheels is original. The chrome is original. The spokes are original. The paint is original. The engine cases came from the factory in a polished aluminum finish. I believe this was the only year that came with polish. The other ones were dull, and that looks factory fresh. Just an absolutely spectacular, remarkable example. Guys, you got to look not only at the bottom of a motorcycle, but underneath the seat to determine this dude. No one's ever touched a paintbrush underneath the seat or anywhere in here. This is all original. Has the original spark plugs, the 3 spark plug holder right there. Original air box. It does have a new battery in it. And the original tool set is present and accounted for. The daily safety check stickers are still there. Just absolutely remarkable. This is the way that Tech described it is like this is a time capsule where he wrote it for 6 months in 1975 and then put it in his house in a bubble. It's really escaped the Ides of time. Original chain and sprockets, original, everything original on this bike. This has got to be one of the best investments in motoring history with an original MSRP of $2,750. We've got some of the comps that we pulled off of online, Mecum and elsewhere. There was one that just sold for $55,000 at Mecum, and another one sold for $44,000. And there's a half a dozen of them that sold for $40,000 and up, but none of them were original like this. And as a curator for the New England Motorcycle Museum, my highest and best, most desirable bike for me personally is an original paint bike. It's the same way in the auto industry. You can find an original 69 Chevelle with 6,000 miles on it, or any one of the classic muscle cars with very low miles and original paint is always worth more than a restored example. And with the original tires, it's undeniable. This is the real deal. As far as the components on the bike that we replaced as part of the preservation service, the battery is new. There was new gaskets installed in the carb and petcock when we did the carb and carb cleaning and the fuel petcock rebuild. The front brake master cylinder was rebuilt. It has 3 new NGK BR8HS spark plugs and a quart of Bel-Ray injection oil. We also replaced the crank seal on the clutch side and the clutch cover gaskets and put 2 gallons of VP94 in that absolutely immaculate fuel tank, which is pretty much unheard of to find a bike from this area with a tank that clean. I'm going to go over the text notes here. There's a full page of notes on the service order here. He removed the spark plugs before he did anything, fogged the cylinders, replaced the plugs with new plugs, set the ignition timing to perfection, pulled all the carbs, cleaned and rebuilt all 3 to perfection, synced the carbs, removed the air box, inspected the filter. It was the original and like new. He cleaned the air box. This has the original air filter in it, and it's perfect. Cleaned the air box until spotless, and drained the 2-stroke injector oil. Filled the tank with 1 quart of fresh Bel-Ray. Bled the system. Removed the original chain oiling system and rebuilt it to as new condition. I've never even seen a chain oiling system on the. We've only had 3 of them here, but I have not seen one come in. Look at the sticker on there. And what you do every 200 miles, you pull this plunger right here, and it puts oil on the chain to keep the chain fresh. And the chain looks to be in brand new condition. It works flawlessly. We filled, charged, and installed a new Yuasa YB12N 5.5-4B battery. Tested all electronics. They all worked flawlessly. Removed and rebuilt the original petcock with all new gaskets and seals. Put a gallon of VP fuel in the tank, got the bike running, dialed in the pilot screws and the carbs. Then he removed the front brake master cylinder, rebuilt it with new seals, removed the front brake caliper, rebuilt the front brake caliper with new piston and seals, bled the front brakes with DOT4 fluid, and assembled it. He set the chain tension and filled the tires front and rear to 35 PSI. He drained the gearbox oil, replaced the drain crush washer with a new one, and filled the gearbox with Spectro 1040 oil. He removed the oil pump and clutch cover, replaced the right side crank seals, reinstalled the covers with a new gasket, removed the exhaust to send the New England chrome plating, pulled and cleaned the exhaust baffles, and when it came back, reinstalled the baffles and the exhaust. He also installed an inline petcock from the oil tank because it's on all the forums. They mention this. Well, if you let these sit for months or over the winter, oil will seep into the carbs from the injection area and from the injection system and flood the carbs with oil. So he had put an upgrade to the oil system with a petcock to turn the oil on and off for extensive long-term storage. He removed the original chain and cleaned the chain and sprockets in the parts washer. So it was a total of 24 hours of shop labor. Then it went to the detail shop where I personally was in the shop the entire time this bike was there and worked with my 2 best techs. John Lee's been with me over 20 years now. And we went over every square inch of this bike, hand washed it, degreased it, cleaned up the chrome, buffed the original factory paint, and waxed it and sealed it. Cleaned all, pretty much every part on the bike was cleaned. The engine covers were polished with Pro 40. We cleaned up the rims, and that's basically it. Just gave it a full rotisserie detailing and cleaning. So we normally will paint the center stand, but I was actually shocked at how clean this original center stand is and rust free, as is the original kickstand. We didn't repaint the kickstand. That's all original. Easy for us to do. If you want us to paint anything on this bike, if you buy this bike and you want anything painted, be happy to do it. I was just absolutely amazed at the originality of this bike, and I didn't want to mess with it. Like I said, we're borderline nervous working on this. It's the most valuable Japanese bike we've ever had through the shop, and we did not want to mess with it. You can see the date code on the tire, the 9th week of 1975. Let's look at the DOT number in 095. That's the original factory polyester Dunlop Gold Seal F6E tire. I've never seen one on the bike. Very significant to have one in this original unmolested condition. Most have been restored, and then you ask yourself, well, what is the original patina supposed to be? What is it really supposed to look like? Because sometimes they're over restored, but it's up to the new owner. If you want to do anything to this bike, we can. I would leave it exactly the way it is and put it on display, put it in a glass bubble, or in a living room, or in the museum. It'll be on the 3rd floor of the New England Motorcycle Museum on display. If you want to come take a look at it, this one's a real deal. This is Kaplan America approved. 100% positive feedback after over 15,000 sales on eBay. And that's what we call things. This is exactly everything I told you about this bike is 100% true. If you look up real up close and personal, in addition to the original factory yellow, you can see there's a bit of patina on the original clear coating on the forks, which we could easily remove and polish that, but we wanted to leave it original. This is the original factory fender. I don't see any dents in it. It does have a little bit of patina on it from being cleaned over the 50 years. On the top, it's got some light surface scratching in there, which I've been told you could try to buff it out, but I don't think so. It's still one of the nicest 1975 fenders I've seen. The original chrome tube here is in mint condition. I don't see any pitting or feel any pitting through the chrome on the original chrome. This fork tube here has a little bit of patina, as you'd expect. The original factory chrome from 1975, it wasn't the thickest chrome to begin with. It still looks good. Not quite as good as the New England plating on the pipe there, but just wanted to point that out. The chrome on the original horn looks great. The original paint on the frame is still intact. The original cylinders are in mint condition. The cases, there's no scratching on it. Look at the bottom of this thing. It's spectacular, super clean, top to bottom. Original paint on the center stand is still good. The original pegs, there's never been any dragging of pegs, or it's never been dropped anywhere. The original Kickstarter, original paint on the side cover is in outstanding condition. The fuel tank is absolutely beautiful. I'll put my glasses on. All right, I wanted to put on my reading glasses and look up close. It's the nicest 75 I've ever seen. I don't see any scratches on the side of the tank anywhere. Maybe a tiny surface one there. Oh, check this out. This is the original factory paint, and it looks to be like maybe a little piece of hair in it from the factory, or some type of a factory blem on there. Original saddles in mint condition. Check this out. The VIN tag on this looks brand new. It still looks white 50 years later. Usually those are all scuffed up and screwed up or absolutely missing. The original carbs are mint. The spokes on the bike, this is the original zinc plating. We didn't try to steel wool these or clean them up or vapor blast it. It shows a little patina. We could vapor blast those and clean them up a little more, but we didn't want to pull the wheel off the bike. Check this out. It has the original factory usable range for the brake right here. Look where the brake's adjusted. All the way at the back here still. It's still got 80% of the rear brake pads. So this guy did not hammer the bike. Check this out. This bolt right here, that was painted from the factory. That color, a little bit of the paint is chipped off on it. The paint on the swing arm is still intact and original. The original tire, the original Dunlop's gold seal K87 Mark II rear tire. That's what they came from back then, 50 years ago. If you're restoring one and you want to know what it's supposed to be. This is it right here. 400 H18 4PR nylon, it says. So yeah, nicest example I've seen. The only thing on this bike that's not original is the vanity plate right here. The parts I mentioned that we use were just normal tune-up parts. There's no cycle parts have been removed or changed. If you look at the gauges here, this has the original rev limit for the first 500 mile sticker. You can barely read it, but that's the original sticker that's normally removed at the dealer at 500 miles. That's still on there. Still has the original wire ties on here, all original cables. Everything's original. A little bit of patina on the switch housing, but it still looks excellent. It's still legible. A little bit of patina over here, but it's original grips, original levers. Look at these levers. 50 years old and not a scratch on the edge. Bike's never been dropped. It has still has the yellow here and everywhere else it's supposed to be on the bike. Anyways, you get the idea. It's the nicest one we've seen. Do you have any questions about it at all? Give us a call, 860-454-7024, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Or you can call Junior if you have his cell phone. If you're looking to buy the nicest H270 for sale on planet Earth today, this is it. I wish we could keep it, but we got a lot of overhead here with 22 employees, and this one is being put up for sale. If you buy it, you want to leave it on display here in the museum, we'd be honored to keep it here. It's where it belongs. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.